House Bill 2323.
House Bill 2323, amending Title 20, Chapter 6, Articles of the United States 2015 relating to property insurance.
That's the third reading of House Bill 2323. Vote at the bell. Mr. Payne.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I just wanted to bring up when the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling bad. I simply remember.
Yeah, we don't have a hook, so we just turned your microphone off.
I vote aye.
Mr. Payne votes aye. Ms. Osborne.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I'd like to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
And to honor my pit bull, Red. Red, who was a rescue. Red, who was a bait dog. Red, who had all of his teeth ground down and his tail cut off. I love you, Red, and I vote aye.
Osborne votes aye. Have you all voted? Mr. Kavanaugh,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What time may I explain my vote?
please.
Members, given that this is St. Patrick's Day, I really think everybody should go green just for that reason alone. However, recognizing that that may not be the most persuasive argument that I could make, the reason why I ran this bill, and this is a consumer bill, is that there is no justification for the differential rates for certain breeds of dog. And the reason being that you'll never get that information because it's not available. The insurance companies told me they don't have adequate information to actually figure out which particular breeds have a higher percentage of bites. They recognize that. In addition, very few dogs are purebred. Most of them are mixed breed. So that's another confounding factor. Even when they're not, a lot of vets and studies have shown that vets and animal control people can't even accurately classify dogs. So there's massive misclassification. You know, half the occurrence companies don't do this because there is no justification. And the fact that some companies do it so people can go there still isn't justification for a non-actuarially sound discriminatory bill, which can actually force people to lose their insurance. And with that, I vote yes. Thank you.
Mr. Kavanaugh votes aye. Mr. Andrade.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, members, in 2010, our miniature poodle Fabian was attacked and killed by an aggressive dog. At that time, there was only a leash law violation. Because our miniature poodle Fabian was like a son, we treated him like a kid, we decided we had to take action. So a defined aggressive dog is any dog that has bitten a person or domestic animal without provocation or has a history of attacking or biting another animal or another domestic animal or human being. The reason I state that is because what we learned when we were trying to get this law passed, that it is not the breed, it is the owner. Aggressive dogs are as a result of someone not properly training their dog. We have a class of dogs which are labeled aggressive, but those classes are more likely working dogs. So this puts the responsibility upon the owner to do the right thing, to raise their dog the right way, and to teach it not to be aggressive, but to work with them. I want to remind everybody, like German Shepherds and Doberman Pinschers are used in many things, like law enforcement as well as in the military. So, and then we have our service dogs as well. So this is why I'm glad to see that Representative Kavanaugh brought this bill forward, because it is putting the responsibility back to where it needs to be upon bad dog owners. And with that, I proudly vote aye.
Mr. Andrade votes aye. D'Alessandro votes aye. Sosi votes aye. Have you all voted? Please vote. Bolding, Carter, Chavez, Griffin, Cook, Longden. Mr. Cook,
I rise to explain my vote.
please proceed.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem and members, this bill still has a long way to go. I like this bill because when the bill sponsor first came to me, I opposed this bill. And then after sitting down and talking about how the insurance companies as a whole, if you want to package all of your stuff together and have it convenient, these things don't come up. But with people that are trying to save the limited income in which they have in their households, they may try to find an insurance company that can cover their vehicles at a lower rate, and then also their homes. They may try to find an insurance company that just covers that aspect of it, so they're not all bundled together so they can save their limited dollars. That is, in fact, when these issues come up, and that's what I don't like, is an insurance company that wants to put scare tactics about higher rates, about what's best for the people. And I've given the bill sponsor my word I would help move this bill along, although it doesn't need my help. I vote aye.
Cook votes aye. Ms. Longden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I raise my voice to explain my vote, sir.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So shortly after I became paralyzed, I raised an amazing Doberman as my service dog. Used to call her my service dragon, Pearl. 110 pounds of disciplined Doberman, sweet, gentle. But when I bought my first house after my disability and the insurance agent came over, he wasn't going to sign me up for my homeowner's insurance because of my Doberman. His solution was I should get rid of my highly trained service animal. And I ended up fighting with the insurance company to prove that she was a medical device rather than a Doberman. And that was the only way I was able to get covered. So we need to make sure that we are not discriminating against dogs by breed. But certainly, while I've never been afraid of most Dobermans, I've met a few poodles that I wouldn't turn my back on. So with that, sir, I vote aye.
Longden votes aye. Clerk will record the vote. 42 ayes, 16 noes, 2 not voting. You've passed House Bill 2323, signed in open session. Clerk's instructed to record the action House convey the bill to the Senate. Senate Bill 1060.
Senate Bill 1060, repealing Section 11452